Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in straw hat. You're all probably wondering where I've been for the last couple of days and why I haven't posted any wrestling videos and whatnot, or even continued on with my Castlevania Aria of Sorrow LP. It's because I wanted to address something that needed to be addressed. Because it all went down yesterday, and I'm not very much in a good mood at this point. I'm actually very depressed. But here it is. If you've followed this channel and you saw one of my videos talking about pearl shipping and love, you know that I got into a relationship with a woman online by the name of Angel. I met her through a friend of mine. I'm not going to say her name because if you find out her name, you're just going to go out there and start spamming shit, and I don't want to do that. But anyway, we got together. She wasn't online much, but I could accept that because she has a life away from a computer, so she's going to be working and what have you. This week, though, I had a lot of suspicions. I had suspicions that she wasn't who she said she was. And yesterday, her Facebook profile vanished. It was deleted. Now, there are only two reasons why a profile on Facebook would be deleted. One, either the higher-ups in the Facebook hierarchy deleted it because of inappropriate content, or the person who had the profile deleted it of their own volition. Now, I've been watching her. I know her profile, and I know that there was nothing on her profile to suggest any inappropriate content. So she did it herself. So I asked my friend, you know who, and she told me that is some stuff. It's basically a cock and bull story. Basically, to put it simply, I got catfished. For those of you who don't know what catfish is, the term was created and popularized by a filmmaker named Neve, who created a movie called Catfish, in which he fell in love and had an online relationship with a woman. Tom comes to find out that that woman was a complete lie, that it wasn't exactly what she was saying she was. And it was so popular, it has actually spawned a very popular series called Catfish, where Neve helps people who have online relationships see one another and see if that person is really that person, and if that really is a relationship there, or if that person is fake, or i.e. a catfish. So for a while I've had my suspicions, but yesterday proved that she was a catfish. And I'll tell you why. A lot of you might not know this about me, but I am a licensed private investigator. It's my job to know shit about people. And learning all I can from private investigating, it gives you a sixth sense about when someone's telling you bullshit. So a lot of things came up that made me question it. For one, Angel's pictures that she sent me, she said she didn't have that many. She only sent me like 8 or 9 of them. I was like, okay, maybe she was just having some issues and she had problems with people stealing her stuff. But still, I did a Google search of each of those pictures, and they came up with different results each time. Even in some cases, having more pictures, more of the same picture being presented. Now, this brought up a bit of doubt in my mind. How can you not have more pictures of yourself on your own computer than there is of pictures that are available out there online? So there's that. I was willing to let that go. Second point. She said she did not have an active cell phone. But if that's the case, her job, then I know there are a lot of people out there who work. I mean, all those who out there who work in retail or any other job that has you on call for any amount of time, how many times would you say that you needed a phone for so that your job can contact you? When I was working at the Sprint Center in Kansas City, a cell phone was kind of mandatory because if you didn't have a cell phone, if I didn't have a cell phone, my bosses couldn't call me and ask me, hey, Greg, you want to work such and such hours? Or there's been a change, this has been changed, this has been changed, you don't need to come in, or you need to come in, or stuff like that. And I rarely checked my emails. He sent emails to everybody, but I rarely checked my emails. So it was essential that I have a cell phone. So how can you have and even with my father's job, he has to have a cell phone, not just for work reasons, but for personal reasons in case something happens at home with my mother and I've had to call him or make changes or what have you. So how can you how can you not have a cell phone or any kind of phone for that matter with a job? Now, as some of my other friends have told me, this is not unusual. This is not unique. People have jobs without phones. Okay, I was like, okay. Point 3, she told me specifically that she lived alone. She lived by herself. But my friend, who remained nameless, told me that she was living with and had sole custody of her younger brother. If you were in a relationship with someone, wouldn't that be a first thing you said? I know there's a lot of women out there, including some of my friends on Facebook, who have told me that that she probably didn't say this because they didn't want to that having any kind of responsibility with kids can turn a man off. I have actively pursued women who have had children. One of the closest people to me, Shell from Kansas City. She's one of the closest women in my life. She has kids. She told me that up front. It did not dissuade me. I'm old enough to know that the women that I attempt to attract will more than likely have kids. So they tell that shit up to me up front. They've been up front about it and just said, hey, I got kids. Is that a problem? It's like, if it is a problem, you can go on. It's like, no, it's not a problem with me. You can have kids. Well, I wouldn't say dated, I have associated myself with women who have children. That is not a problem for me. But this woman, Angel, was saying that she was my girlfriend. Just kind of failed to mention this to me. Yeah. So there's that. What else? Just a lot of stuff. Point 4. Perhaps the biggest point of them all. The one thing that made me realize that this was total bullshit. A few days ago, she told me about her family. How her father kind of likes to get drunk, and her mother, that she and her mother had a great relationship, and they used to make dirty jokes with one another. And like, hey, she sounds pretty cool. I'm not gonna be. It's okay. I don't really mind. She sounds pretty cool. She had nothing but good things to say about her. She talks her up like she's the best mom ever. And even at one point, she said that she couldn't talk to me because she was going to hang out with her mother and sister. So, yesterday, when her profile got deleted, my friend told me her entire backstory. Essentially, her mother is second cousin to the devil. She said she was like, she abused her. She physically abused her and her younger brother. It got so bad that the two of them actually had to, that she and her brother actually had to escape their home, and that Angel lived with her friend for months upon end. That my friend's mother actually wanted to adopt her into the family, but they didn't have enough room, and that her mother actually went to jail for this, had a restraining order against her. Hell, earlier this year, she said that her mother joined a gang, and that gang beat her ass. So let me think. So I'm posing this question to you. If you were a child of an abusive parent, you would not want to say of a parent who was abusive to you mostly all of your life and to your younger brother who you have custody of. why then would you say anything good or positive about her? I mean, my grandfather was abusive to both my maternal grandmother and my step grandmother. And my maternal grandmother had the sense enough to actually leave him. My mother has said all the time that she loved her grandfather, but he was kind of a bastard. It's understandable because he had done some horrible things. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you don't, if you're from, I've known people who have had abusive childhoods from abusive parents. They have nothing good to say about them. I've even had some members of my family who've had shitty relationships with their parents. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to name no names, but I know that they've had some shitty relationships with their parents and have very little to nothing good to say about them. That right there told me this is bullshit. And the story just didn't seem right, how she kept changing her identity. Apparently, Angel is not even her real name. So I have no way to contact her. Her Facebook is gone. She has no phone, no email address. She has a YouTube account, which has only one picture of her. And I'm not even sure it's that he's even her. Everything about her is shadows and stories. And all of this perpetrated by my friend. So there's only one conclusion I can draw from, there's only two conclusions I can draw from this. Either Angel has been lying to me consistently since we were talking, or my friend has been lying to me, in which case, without any concrete evidence, there is nothing to prove that she did exist. In fact, when I told her that I could look for her, my friend told me to just let it go, to drop it. She'll contact me when she contacts me. So I said, okay, I drop it. And I went to my mother and I asked her opinion of it, and she said, and she and I could look for her because my mother's an attorney. And between the two of us, we have a stack of numbers and websites we can do to look for people and find them and find out any information about her. And this Angel person does not exist anywhere. So that's it. I fell for a woman who didn't even exist, who was nothing but a shadow of a figment of the imagination of someone I considered closer as a sister. Someone who I love dearly with all my heart would do something like this, to catfish a person. And catfishing is not a fun thing to do or go through. For another person, it may be something just to get attention or to feel good about themselves. But for the person on the other end, it doesn't feel good. You invest all of this time and emotions into this person, and you think this person is the bee's knees, and they're the best in the world for you. That God made this person just for you, and then to come to find out it was nothing more than a fake, a mask, a figment of the imagination of some person out there. That fucks with a person, and that's sad. And I don't even know why she did this. She's in a committed relationship. She's pregnant by her partner. So why she did this is anyone's guess. And, well, I don't even know what she's thinking because I didn't ask her. You see, I'm the type of person. See, I told her that I'm not just going to let this go. Originally, I was going to let it go because if anyone I care about is in trouble, I'm going to do everything in my power to help that person. That's how my family rolls. If anyone that we care about is in danger or in trouble or is in need, we give it. When my best friend lost his job at Radio Shack and was barely able to feed his family at one time, we rolled out the red carpet for him. We always gave him food out of our freezer and home cooked meals from my mother. She happily did it. When he was having legal troubles with his baby's mama, my mother could have charged him an arm and a leg with the legal advice she gave him. She did it pro bono because she loved him like a son. That's how friends do. That's how we do. This is how my family rolls. We help people who need it. But there's also something else you should know. If you screw us, if you mess with my family or me, we could be the worst enemies you could ever have. The FBI doesn't want to fuck with my mother. My mother spent the last 2 hours just the other day trolling some IRS scammers, just calling them back repeatedly, telling them that they're going to jail. She badgered them for 2 full hours. That's just how we are. I'm not as vindictive as my mother can be. I'm a little bit nicer, but I'm no less not the person to fuck with. So as for my friend, I have cut her completely out of my life. A friendship lasting nearly a decade, and I cut her out of my life. She is no longer on my Facebook, my Skype, or is she? And I've unsubbed her. And Angel, quote unquote, Angel from my YouTube account. I've cut them out of my life. They're probably gonna hear. She subscribed to my channel, so she's listening to this right now. I really couldn't give a crap. I don't know why you did this to me. And don't sit there and pretend like you're saying and leave some comment saying, "Oh, Angel's just she's real. She's a really real person." No, she's not. I looked into it. I know you said I shouldn't. I said I shouldn't, but I did anyway. Because I may say and do stupid shit, but I'm not stupid. And I'm offended that you actually think I was stupid enough to buy this bullshit cock and bull story. So yeah, you're out of my life. And when your relationship fails, like all the other ones in the past, and you're wondering, and I've been there for you each and every time to make you smile or give you a shoulder to cry on, and then tell you that everything's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be there no more. I may forgive you one day, but it's not gonna be today, tomorrow, or next week, or next month. Hell, it might not even be next year. It's going to be a long time before I even have the courage, even have the willpower to even mention your name. So don't try that bullshit. So yeah, that's my story. Shintigercurl got catfished. And now I gotta live with the consequences. She doesn't, because she can go back to her her life with her new other half and her child on the way. She can go back to that. That's pretty much the story of my life. People screw me over and just don't give a damn. They just go on with their lives like it don't matter. Well, I'm gonna go on with my life. So thank you for listening to me rant and rave about this catfish. So I'm not gonna say subscribe or comment or whatever. This is just me getting my shit out. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do next. I don't feel like doing much of anything right now. So I'm just gonna lay back, chill, and try to make sense out of my life and maybe work on my book. This whole situation's just fucked up. So if you're listening to this, if you feel like you're being catfished, or if you're a person who's catfishing, stop. Just stop right now. No matter what the reason, you should never play with a person's feelings like this, because it's terrible and it makes you look like a fool and a fucking idiot. So there. It's my story, and I hope you've all learned something from this. So until next time, shintigercurl saying good day, and I'm done.